association with Hauterfly and Summer is something that took a little bit of time for us to figure out what we were going to do. And I know they had a vision and a direction they wanted to go, and I'm happy that we were all on the same page of being able to create great content and create content that I believe people would be interested in, and content that felt real. That's what was important to me.
Absolutely.
Okay. The association is absolutely amazing. I think that when you can have an association with a company and be able to be on the same page and have the same concerns and be able to be open to suggestions or different ideas. As most people must know, I'm pretty opinionated, and it's, even though I'd like it to be my way or the highway, I know that can't happen, and it has to be a give and take. And I think that everything that we've shot so far has been something that we've agreed on, that it should feel like we're making great content, and I think that's what's most important.
Yeah.
Sunny, how do you feel you are good in business, like shooting as a businesswoman? How do you handle your business?
I think every company is different, and both Daniel and I have a no bullshit approach for a lot of different things. Everything's pretty black and white, straightforward. We don't believe in the idea of making people run around in circles. I think our deal is pretty easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
and they usually are. And as far as our employees go and everybody, we just believe that everybody should work hard. And I know what I put into my day, and I expect the same thing from my employees, and that's it.
Sunny, last question. दूसरे डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म से या कोई भी विमेंस वेब मैगजीन्स हमेशा से रही है, तो एज एन इन्वेस्टर व्हाट आर यू एडिंग जो पहले किसी मैगजीन या किसी डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म में नहीं है?
I don't think it's about what somebody's done or what somebody hasn't done. I think this is about taking ideas that maybe have been spoken about before and giving it our own spin, our own thought, my own opinion of those things, and their statistics and their opinions of how it should be shot and things that we should talk about. I believe that the biggest thing for myself was that it should feel real. It should feel like if anybody could go out and do the things that we're talking about, and or providing the steps of how that woman can accomplish these things.
Sunny, we're talking about Bollywood, like you're talking about equality, like maybe we're talking about gender equality. In Bollywood, do you feel the actress, like heroine, has that kind of a equality, like in compared to the hero?
Well, I think that each actor is different. I do believe that there are differences. As far as myself goes, I can only speak about my own experiences and what I've gone through, and it's not been easy. I've had to create my own path, and my team and Daniel and everybody, we have to fight tooth and nail to do everything that we want to. Do I have the best of lineup when I have a film coming out? Do I work with those big A-list actors? No, but I create my own path and I make my own decisions, and I'm happy for that. And I'm happy that I'm able to do things my way, and which is the most important to me. No one's telling me what to do, and I like that.
Okay, Sunny, as you have talked about the
Sunny, one last question. Sunny days a year, what do you do to beat the sun?
Wait, what?
Sunny days, I mean to say it's hot out.
It's hot outside.
last question, guys.
What am I doing to beat the sun? I don't know. I'm going to Rajasthan for a month. I'm going to be in the sun every single day. That's going to be a very good question. But if I had to say something, it would be coconut water. It would be a lot of light food, not fried stuff, and light clothing, nothing too heavy, and that would be really uncomfortable.
Sunny, do you want to comment on this?
The glass ceiling. I call them the glass ceiling or a wall or a bumper. I think that every single person in business goes through this. In my experience, I've hit a lot of those walls, a lot of those bumps, a lot of those ceilings. But I do have an amazing team around me, which I give credit to. But I also think that those glass ceilings and those barriers and those barricades and bumpers are actually a tool to learn something. I am not in the corporate world, so I don't know what that feels like. But I do run my own world, and I do know the difficulties that I face, that my team faces, that we face on a daily, or that we face on, maybe it's every 6 months. Something insane comes our way, and it's horrible. The amount of press that subject gets, or things that happen. And all I have to say is that I've grown from those. And there's no one that can stop me. There's no one that can completely barricade me and put me in a cage and tell me no. That's how I see it. And the more someone tells me no, the more someone puts up those barricades, the more I fight. But that's my personality, and I know that there's a lot of women out there that feel like maybe they're alone, or maybe that they can't do it. And something that I learned a really long time ago was, if you're not gonna ask, then you're not gonna get it. If you're not gonna say, I want this, then it's never gonna come to you. If you don't voice what you want, then you're never gonna get there. Maybe it's more difficult, trying to get into that room where decisions are made, but until you start saying it over and over again, maybe not your situation, but maybe somebody else's, that as a woman, you have to voice what you want. And then you say, I want this, how am I gonna get there? And if you're gonna put a barrier up, how do I get around that barrier? Because I know I'm better than you. I know I work harder than you, and I know my trade or craft, anything better than you do, whether you're a male or a female. So it's also, I think, a personal journey, like you had mentioned there. I agree with a lot of things that you say, but then I have this feeling that if I feel so insecure and if I feel so in my shell, then maybe I should grow a pair and speak up, because a lot of people don't do that. And I think when you're speaking, or anybody here is speaking, it's because we have figured out how to speak out. And that woman that's sitting in that boardroom and going, oh, I'm so scared to speak, or I have this issue, let me tell you, in my household all the time. These women who work around, well, we all sat there and got an injection and saw the doctor, but why didn't you speak up? And I say this to women all the time, but that sort of mentality, I feel, is so hard to change. Now, what are the steps in your opinion? How do you change that? What I learned was it's okay to be a bitch.
Exactly.
It's okay.
You take pride in being
within
the bitch.
your limits, of course, you shouldn't just be nasty,
Yes.
but it's okay to put your foot down and be a bitch.
Yeah, and exactly. And say, I am the bitch, now deal with me, exactly. So I think there is no other way but to talk about it.
I think everybody here can agree with me, is we are seeing a shift in this idea of having children and being able to work. Kareena Kapoor is a perfect example of that, where she is unstoppable. She's so amazing, and she works so hard, and she's still going at it. She's got herself back in shape to what she wants, and still has that drive and determination to keep working, which I think is absolutely amazing, and we should applaud her for that. And not taking those stereotypes and, kind of going to the wayside. I'm so happy she didn't do that. I am a different case and matter, because I just don't care what people think, and I'm not, I wasn't born and raised here. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. What I'm saying is that my whole system and makeup and how I think is completely different. For me, I chose surrogacy and I chose adoption because I wanted to keep going and I wanted to keep working, and that was my own personal choice. I thought I was gonna have one, I had 3 that I wasn't planning on, but it's God's plan. Not my plan, that's God's plan. But I wouldn't change anything. My life is crazy, and my children were very upset that I was leaving the house today, and it broke my heart, but I wanted to be here. And I want to do this just as much as I want to see them. And I believe that I'm a better mother if I'm working and providing for my children than if I'm a stay-at-home mother. I'm not saying that being a stay-at-home mother is wrong. I'm saying God bless you for being the stay-at-home mother. But I feel that I'm a better person, I'm a better mother, I'm a better human being working than not working. And I think that my children will thank me one day for working.
Completely, absolutely.
I agree with it's not about gender. I do believe that every single office is very, very different. Every job is different. The requirements are different. If you asked me to be a fireman, I'm sorry, I just could not do that. But if you asked me to...
It's been proven that even women commandos make better commandos as teams than men commandos. It's been proven in research, and it's been proven actually in live demos. So, you know, women could make far better firemen too. It's just that we don't have women firemen. Fire women, exactly.
Right. My biggest... Yes. My biggest issue sometimes, and this is from my own perspective, is women out there sometimes end up being the biggest people who are against everything, who say the most nastiest things that a man would never dream about saying. I'll go to a press conference and the most obnoxious things will come out of a woman's mouth, and I want to say, where are you from? Because I have no idea why you would ask questions like these that are so demeaning, that are so disrespectful in every way. I find that sometimes that happens more from women than it does from men. Maybe it's, I have no idea where that comes from. But that's just my own perspective. And as far as leadership goes, I think that women who are amazing leaders, they're just amazing. You can't beat them. But if there are men that are just as good, that are open, like Hauterfly, like you're amazing. Your company has all these women work. They come into my office, and it's all women, except for one gentleman who didn't speak at all, who comes into the, I don't know if he's here or not, but it's,
he's here.
He's still not talking. Please stop talking,
he's a
wherever you are.
spectator.
Just stop talking because you talk too much. But I do think that there are male leaders out there like yourself who are embracing the idea of women voicing their opinions and doing things that they want, and being able to talk about subjects, and bringing the four of us on stage with you to talk about some of these extremely important issues. So I do think that there's a shift happening. So whether it's a male leader or a female leader, to me they fall into the same category.
Fantastic.
I just want to say thank you
Thank
for
you.
making me a
thank
part
you
of Hauterfly.